Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, part two of Lazarus's restoration. I got to do a major fix. A little frustrated, but hey, what's 8 hours worth of work? But that's the key. That's one of the things you got to keep going. So come on along. Well, the frustration point hit about as the most difficult thing you could ask for. I mean, other than a blown engine, would be a blown transmission. I didn't have a blown transmission, but I did have a problem, and it was a clutch problem. A brand new R clutch, which, you know, as we know, they're no longer available. At least that's the current state of the nation with those. So I was fearful as I got into this that maybe that was what was going to be the problem. There was something bad with the clutch. Well, was a problem, but it wasn't a bad clutch. It was just put in backwards. Mistakes happen. Anyways, I did it so it's a high speed, so it won't take you as long as it took us. Subframe out, inner wheel housing, axles, rotors, intake, engine bar, tipped her down. Might have to do a little more. I got the back bolts off. I got to get the rest off. Drain the transmission. Got the steering rack just floating. Oh yeah, she's coming. There's the other part of the brace for the subframe. Yes, indeedy. Now, make sure, I don't know if you can see this, this says gearbox side. That means that points out. This one says, up here in little bitty letters, flywheel side. So this faces in, out, in. This was reversed. So that says gearbox side if you look down in that corner. And I keep referencing that because I didn't do this the last time. I should have checked it, but I didn't. I got anxious. And this time I torqued these fasteners, these socket head cap screws that hold the clutch on. And then I use, the other tool I use is this device, which centers the, gives you a good centering spot for the clutch disc. And that's real important because you want it dead center of that hole there. And yeah, she's pretty good. So a couple important tools, 18 foot-pounds for these guys. And then, yeah, it's just a Harbor Freight torque wrench, but it works. And that's important. So now I'm ready to put the transmission back on. Here's a little trick that Robert DIY helped me with. You take one of the bolts out of a transmission, the longer ones, and you run it in with a screwdriver. Now it becomes a pin that you can hang the transmission on when you put it back in. Really great tip. Well, this little Harbor Freight transmission jack came in handy again. And it's amazing how well it holds the transmission while you're trying to get it in and out. Well, shout out to my good friend Jim, who came over and helped me. We got the subframe back on, the brace back on, all that good stuff. Axle's in, motor in. Still got some tidying up top here to do. Transmission in. That I did by myself. That was a job. And yeah, this side's all in. I still got to put the wheel housing in. I've still got a few things to button up. I got to put the over the engine pipe rip kit in, back in, I should say. And you know, a few odds and ends, but she's coming along. This took, gosh, I haven't counted up the hours, but I'm going to say 15, 16 hours of work to get us to where we're at right now. The moral support and the extra hands, my son, my oldest son, and you know, my friend Jim, that was massive. That's the beauty of the community, I guess, approach to these cars.